Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the Olight Universe channel. This is part 2 of the knife reviews. Today we have two knives, the Acula, hopefully we're saying that right, Acula, A-C-U-L-A, and the Stars and Stripes Pt.2. So we have Josh back with us, and he's going to go over the technical details of these knives. Take it away.
Howdy, Josh here again. Nice to be with you guys. Let's start with the Pt.2 here. This is the aluminum handled version. It does come, I believe, in a G10 carbon fiber.
Micarta, is that G10?
Yeah, it's probably a G10 micarta.
Okay.
It's most common. But you can get it in that or carbon fiber. This here, like I said, is the aluminum handled edition, Stars and Stripes. Now it does have the knob thumb action there, and it has a rail lock system as well. Now it's nice and buttery smooth, just like all the other Olights that I've dealt with. But the rail lock is nice because whenever you actuate that rail lock, gravity will close the knife for you. It is really, really smooth. I cannot emphasize how smooth the action is on this knife. It just feels right. Again, right here we have 154 cm on the blade. Love that steel. It is a great steel for EDC. I mean, you can abuse it a little bit. It's going to hold an edge. Really just a great steel all around. You can't go wrong. Now, this is a sheep's foot design here. It's got a subtle curve to the blade with this really distinct drop down to the point. This makes it really easy to control where your point is at whenever you're using the knife, whereas points that come up a little bit higher are a little bit harder to pinpoint with accuracy while using it. It's got a really subtle taper down on this flat grind to the blade edge, which is going to lend this to be really good at chopping things such as apples. I would use this personally for processing food when out in the field or on the go. If you need to chop up some carrots, apples, etc. This is going to be a great knife for just everyday food use. But you can really use it for anything else as well. This drop point lends itself good for cutting up corrugate, especially at the seams if you're cutting down boxes. It's really good for that, much like a box cutter would be. So it's a very versatile blade shape for daily use. It's not going to be necessarily the best at any one thing, but it is going to perform in a lot of areas that you're going to need it to.
What about the aluminum handle? You're not a fan of those, are you?
I personally am not.
I like the aluminum handles.
The aluminum looks nice. It's a real sleek finish, nice and smooth. It feels good in the hand, but personally, I just don't feel like I get the grip that I want to see when using it. If you're looking more for aesthetics than functionality, I think the aluminum is a great choice. Or you might not mind it as much as I do. I can be a little bit picky when it comes to knives. But personally, I would probably go for the micarta if I were to grab this for myself. And as always, they come with a little coin here. Oh, this one's got a gator on it.
Yeah.
I actually like the like. I think this would be like a stonewash look on this coin.
Yeah, that's a nice coin.
Right. It's probably my favorite we've seen so far.
Yeah, the aluminum to me, I like the way it feels.
It does have a real nice, smooth feel to it in the hand.
Yeah. I like this little thing that they put in. Some of the knives don't have it. What's this called here? This little nub here.
It's a knob thumb action is what I generally refer to it as.
It's a really smooth knife.
Oh, yeah. As far as a lot of times, the knife companies don't get that right. You go to flick it open and it's too tight and it gets stuck halfway up, or it's too loose and it flies all wild.
Yeah.
This one, it just, like I said earlier, it just feels
And this one, $84.99 on olightstore.com.
Which I'd say is still a really good deal for that steel, 154 cm. That's hard to find.
Yeah, it's a nice knife. I had to get two of those. So I have the red, not the carbon fiber. The carbon fiber. All right, let's move on to this one here.
The Acula, again, not sure if we're pronouncing that right. This is a neat piece. It comes with the Kydex sheath as well as this angled belt clip, which I think is, yeah, it comes with screws here. So you can reattach it at different angles and positions if you prefer, which is a nice touch. They didn't have to do that, but they did. Now, it is machined from a single piece of 50 CR15 MOV steel, which is a stainless steel. That steel and I have a little bit of a history with as far as when I was doing knife creation and drilling through. So the steel itself, I've seen it done badly. If you put a poor heat treat on this steel, I feel like the edge retention is lackluster. However, if you do put a good heat treat on this steel, I think that it can perform certainly a lot better than 440 stainless, and I wouldn't call it bad at all. It's probably nearing VG10 level, to be honest with you, which is a great steel. And when it's machined out of a solid bar like this, you're going to see a little bit more strength and resilience anyhow. It does have a good weight to it, but despite that, the balance point is not bad. It's right below where your pointer finger would be when holding it, which lends to a little bit more control of the blade since the balance point is in your palm here, or not quite in your palm, a little forward. It does have a striker bar here. Does it come with the flint that goes
It
in the
doesn't.
handle?
No, you have to have the flint.
You can put flint inside of this handle here, or really anything you want, matches, etc.
Ferro rod, I guess.
Yeah, ferro rod would be
flint. Yeah,
I'm a little old school when it comes to terminology sometimes. But it's got some good storage room here. It just feels really well machined when you do pull out the threads. Just real solid, no play. As you can see there, it's got a pretty deep barrel for storing various things like a ferro rod. The actual texturing here they have on the handle. It does feel really nice. It's well machined. There's really no abnormalities or inconsistencies to be said or spoken of. Now, the blade edge on this, just like their folders, it comes out of the box razor sharp. I could definitely shave with this if I wanted to, which you can't say about all knives out of the box. And it's something that I got to give props to Oknife for, because not a lot of companies, there's only a handful that I feel like their factory edges are actually, worth their salt.
And this one's 9 inches, 9.2 inches. That's pretty good size.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering it's machined from a solid piece of steel here. Now that only goes up to 8 inches there.
You got your coverage here.
Oh, excellent! I didn't see that there. Thank you. So if we measure this up,
9.2.
9.2, right on the money.
And it says blade hardness 55 plus 2 HRC.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be a little bit softer than the N690 and some of the other steels we've seen here today, but that is actually a good thing in this case. I think that this is a survivalist knife that you're meant to take out in the field. If you have a knife that's too hard out in the field doing rough work, you're going to chip your blade edge, which makes it harder to sharpen and harder to maintain. If the blade rolls rather than chips, like with a softer steel, it's easier to maintain and get back to a sharp working edge again. And that's something that you need for a knife you're taking out into the field. So I think this steel for a stainless was a good choice. As far as non-stainless, I think it'd probably be comparable to a D2 at that hardness rating.
109.99. What do you think about that?
109.99. As far as the features that it has and its price point, that isn't bad. Now, for 109.99, I'd like to see a little bit more of a premium steel. But again, it is machined out of a single bar of the steel. I think it's the actual machining process where a lot of the price for this knife comes from. And that does make it ultra durable.
And it comes with FK with a lanyard and Kydex sheath.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does that wrap it up?
I think that about wraps it up. I think all in all, both are great deals, and it would be a good grab for the outdoorsman or your EDC carrier.
Okay, that wraps up part 2, everyone. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what other flashlights, what other knives you want us to review. Josh will be back because we do have, I don't know how many, 6 more knives to review.
I believe it is 6, yeah.
So we'll do a part 3 and a part 4 in the future.
I can even come along and bring some of my personal knives with me sometime and do some show and tell for your fans.
Absolutely, we can compare the Olites to other knives. Okay, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.